What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another great epic episode of Just My Penny Reviews. This is Cross, Season 2, Episode 6, titled Gather, Cross the Coast to Evidence to Learn. The vigilante is killing people in a specific order. He rushes to save the next person on the list before it is too late. Of course, we are talking spoilers. You should know that it may be too late. He was just right there, but they didn't want to let him into the party. But we're gonna talk about it. Lamont, how you doing today? And what did you think about this episode, sir? Let us have it. Let us have it.
I'm doing good. Another fantastic episode. We need more Aldous Hodge. And I gotta just say it, man. Bobby Trey, man. We gotta start getting him in some more stuff because he's been showing out this episode. He's been a surprise I didn't know we need. I thought this episode really ratcheted up the conflict we're having between should we be supporting a villain or anti-hero, or should we be supporting Cross? Just made it a little deeper. And I think this episode pulled us back more toward Cross.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. But you got me thinking about Bobby Trey now, man, because Cross, well, he saved the day at the end of the last episode, and we don't know what happened right here. But the episode starts off. Cross is coming back into the fold. He's bandaged up. He got butterfly band-aids on his face. He's cut up. He got a cast on his arm. He's bruised. Elle sees him this way, and she's worried. Of course, we're going to be talking about her. But Miss Kayla Craig, his boo thing, his wife at work, his whatever you want to call it, is not happy. Cross is not happy with her. Like, hey, man, what is going on? Okay, you letting this monster out of jail? Why would you do something like that? I mean, he slit a woman's throat, a grandmother's throat, in front of me, and I had to watch her die. And now y'all playing patty cake teaming up. What's going on? She's like, bro, if I didn't let him out of jail, if I didn't send him on your way, you would be dead right now. And that is the case. You think it's right for Cross to be upset that Bobby Trey is out? Or is he justified in his feelings?
This is one of those situations where both can be true. He can be upset Bobby Trey is out, but at the same time, Bobby Trey just saved his life. And toward the end of this episode, we got an opportunity to understand kind of why Bobby Trey is the way he is when we learned about Kayla and her dealings with the folks in the military. And so at the end of the day, there's not much Cross can say. If it wasn't for Bobby Trey and if it wasn't for Kayla's women intuition, he would literally be dead. The kids wouldn't have a daddy. They'd be with stepmama L. He just got to let it go like he did.
Yeah, and I'm still kind of conflicted. I like Bobby Trey, but at the same time, I don't want to just forgive him for all of his nefarious ways in the first season because he was despicable. He was a monster himself. So I find it kind of weird that he's rushing out a container with his pistol like, oh, there's mother effers. There's mother effers. They monsters. I can't believe you need to end them right now. You can do whatever you want to do when we're done. But first, we need the information. I mean, yes, I don't blame him for wanting to kill the other lady in there. I think her name was Mackenzie. I could be wrong. But he was a monster himself. So it's just like, how can you get mad at her? You know, you wasn't giving people, toxic super soldier serums, but you still was a cold-blooded MFer. You know what I'm saying? So am I tripping or am I looking at it the right way?
There's nothing wrong with you feeling that way, but you just got to add context to why he's the way he is. I've had the opportunity to work with people who've gone to the military and come back, in particular women, and they be messed up. That's why you see so many people that come back home from the military on psychedelics, alcoholics, they cracking up. And I'm not saying that him cracking up and what he's seen as an Air Force member justifies what he did, but it gives you context as to why he was crazy. And it also gives you context as to why he feels a certain kind of way about the people that they have been mistreating. And anybody who feels like they're a part of a family is going to go harder for someone who's a part of their family than they will for someone who's not. If me and you, we in a circle and somebody try to hurt you, I'm gonna beat their ass But if it's somebody else's little circle and they beat him up, I'm not going to do nothing. So I get where he's coming from, but it's still not right for him to be murking people. He need to go get the kind of psychological help he needs to try to be a cogent citizen in society.
Yes. Would you have let him out of prison?
It depends on how bad I need him. And apparently she needed him badly. And so far it's working. But I got a feeling, B. Avery, that the old Bobby Trey is going to come out before it's over with.
Yeah. We're going to see. We're going to see. Hopefully, if he does have another victim, they deserve it. And it's not just some old lady that wants to make apple pies or whatever, But Two John is in this investigation trying to help his mother. They have a somewhat of a growing relationship right now. I don't want to say that it's flourishing, but they're smiles instead of frowns. They're going over pictures, trying to find out who TK is. And we find out who TK is. It's not necessarily TK. It's kind of a KT, Night Train. And there was another name in there, but it's slipping me right now. I apologize. I should have wrote it down. But Lamont, something tells me she is lying. And she knows exactly who TK is. She knows exactly who Night Train is. Hopefully the white guy on the couch that gave him the information, he put that gun away. Hopefully they did bring back the antibiotics. Before we get to his mother, did they bring back the antibiotics? No, I'm joking. Hopefully they did. They just didn't leave him there to die. No, but what's up with the mother, man? What is she hiding, or is she hiding anything at all? And what's up with this relationship between them two? Is it going to end the way that we want it to, or is it going to just crash and fall and not go anywhere, and people going to be hurt?
It's TV, man, so somebody got to get hurt. We've got Two John, we've got Kayla, we got Cross, and we got L. Everybody can't come out of this with a good story. And oftentimes when you see these situations where family has been this distant, she hasn't seen you since you was like a baby, infant, now you're an adult, maybe 35, it's kind of easy for that type of person to fall right back out of another person's life that's their child or whatever. I would dare say it's easier for a man to do it, but women can do it too. And I think that they're going to write this story in a manner where she knows who this Travis, this Knight guy is, real name Vega. And for whatever the reason, I think that there's a connection between Two John and him, maybe his daddy, maybe his uncle, something. And eventually, when it comes out, that's going to push Two John away, and that relationship probably going to fizzle away again.
Hopefully not, man. Hopefully not. I don't want that to happen at all. Do you have a favorite scene in this episode? Because I do. I'm gonna tell you, but I'm gonna let you go first.
It was a bunch of scenes I liked. I think if I had to pick one, when Cross went in there to meet Jelani for the first time when he was standing there with Lance, I would say that was probably my favorite scene of this episode.
Okay. Why is that? Or do you want to say more?
Because he basically went in there to try to warn brother to brother, you need to come clean. And to see the white colonizer jump in there all quick and fine. And then the things that Lance was saying in the wedding, that I would try to tie that together with it too, made it important for me that Cross tried to give the brother a warning. He didn't take it. And you could see clearly Jelani was upset. He knew he was wrong. He called out Lance. And at the end of the day, what do they always do with black people, B. Avery? Make us the villain. You could literally say Jelani is the foundation to all this angst that has gone on with Crestwood.
Yeah. That was a good scene. I almost forgot about that one. And I was going to say I like Jelani, but I don't, because he's a monster. He came up with this idea to trap the kids like, hey, you can save a lot of money if you can get some babies to do it. I like his style, his swag. He had a nice wife. She was nice, and they was partying and kicking it. But you're part of the mastermind, so you got to go. But
and you know what made it so worse with Jelani? before they got to exploiting the kids, he was trying to exploit black women. And that's when my homegirl, the lieutenant, stepped in and let folks know that black women, we don't get paid as much as men. We lose like 20 cents on the dollar toward men. So Jelani first, as an economist, wrote the paper on how to manipulate women. But black women don't be having that shit, ladies and gentlemen. If we was to let black women take over the United States right now, everybody in them files would be in jail. We wouldn't be in no wars. This country would be smooth sailing.
I'm
And
gonna ask you a
instead,
question.
yeah, go for it.
Well, first of all, I do want to comment. I do like your commentary as far as the brother. Just like, hey, you're an economist, so you do the math. 50% of the defendants are dead. 50%, you're left. You know, and so he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get my ass chewed out. So I do like the straight up there. Just like, okay, you can listen to this white man right here that don't give a crap about you, that's just using you as a puppet. You're a means to an end, or we can be here with it. I can save you. Okay, I'm trying to do my job. You know, you let me know. So I do like that. Now, let's step out of the episode and talk about this paper that he wrote, saving black women or whatever. Yes, 80 cents on the dollar. Companies could save millions of dollars if they hire all women. Is a company wrong for doing that? Also, if a woman, let me throw this caveat in there. Let's say, for instance, the woman, and I don't think it's right. Well, no, I'm not gonna comment there. I'm need to do some more research. But 80 cents on the dollar, and you have a woman department. Let's say they hire all the women at 90 cents a dollar, or 95 cents on the dollar, or a handful of them at 100%. If they hire all women to save money, but they're giving the women raises that they've never ever received before, is that okay with you? Is that still ethical, or is it kind of shady, in your opinion?
Isn't that discrimination based on gender?
I'm asking. I don't.
Yeah. If you get caught doing that, you can get a lawsuit for discrimination based on gender. And then when they find out that the reason you're picking the gender is because historically they get paid less than men. And the reason why women typically get paid less than men is because women historically haven't gone to vouch for their pay the way men have, nor have women been in the ecosystem of nepotism the way men have. So that's why there's a disparity in pay. You get a lot of people who are uneducated and be like, well, minimum wage is $7.25. Everybody don't work off minimum wage. People work off salaries. Some people work off gig jobs. A lot of people have ways they get paid that ain't minimum wage. And that's why, and then if you make the company aware that these women are underpaid and they still hire you, and then they go strictly for women, that's 2 lawsuits right there. So yeah, they're wrong.
Okay. I'm just curious. I'm not gonna go too deep into it. Every situation is different. You know, there's some instances where I agree there should be equal pay across the board, but there's a certain amount of professionals to where I don't feel that way when it comes to leagues and stuff. But we don't have to go down a rabbit hole. But maybe that can come up.
I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying, and I know what you're eating around, and that particular situation is a dollars and cents situation, because that league is basically still, it's negative. It's in the negative, and it's hard. Yes, you're underpaid, but it's hard to argue for more money when the product that you're pushing is not even profitable.
Correct.
And I'm all for people getting paid, but you gotta be profitable. And unless you're going to make it that you're just going to take from the men's salary, period, it's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah. I want to say something so bad, but it's mean. It's cruel. I saw a joke. I shouldn't even brought it up. I do apologize. My favorite scene, though, that was your favorite scene. My favorite scene was when the two agencies was coming together, the FBI and the Metropolitan Police Department.
Like that one too.
Cross and Kayla, were conversing outside in the hallway prior to entry. And she's, he apologized. I was wrong. And she was like, yeah, you're not fine. You're telling me you're fine, but you're not fine. Everybody in there want to chew you up or whatever. So he walked in there and, he's ready to take it. Hey, I messed up. My bad. I let Luz go. We didn't have, enough to arrest her. And he was wrong in a sense because of what happened at the end of the episode. That could have been prevented. But you got your boy up there, associate director, just waving his wand like, "Ooh, I'm an annoying a-hole," and just like the back and forth between everybody. You effed up, and because of that, we're gonna downgrade you, and we're gonna add so and so detective to the case, or this agent to the case, and then the lieutenant coming up. Excuse me. This is a joint operation, so if you could do what you want with your people, but with my people, you need to check with me. Excuse me, Lieutenant. This is above your pay grade. And the white lady in the back, yes, superior white lady over here. What was she? The police chief? I think
she's police chief.
Yeah. She comes to. But it's not. Is this in my purview? And Cross is the one that figured out who it was. Actually, that was two John that said that, like, he wouldn't even know. Y'all wouldn't even know. No, they both said that. Excuse me. Like, you only know who the criminal is because of Cross. He ain't going nowhere. I don't know why. I just got a big tickle out of that, of just the back and forth between the two agencies, and it's kind of like a who has the biggest thing in the room contest. I don't know. It was just I like how everybody has each other's back and speaks up for one another, and just like, hey, you're not just gonna come in here and run over me, and I'm doing all the work, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that. So that was my favorite scene. Do you agree or disagree, or you have any commentary there?
Love that scene, man. As a matter of fact, I'll change my position and say that's my favorite too, because it was kind of one of those, Cap, on your left, when police chief came in. And remember, her and Cross got into it last year, but because of the way he handled that case from last year, and the way he stood 10 toes down on his credentials from the beginning of this season, she loves Cross now. And to see her come in and have his back, knowing he is the best she got, I love every minute. I love every minute of when somebody thinks they're entitled to be the boss, get their ass shut down. And Al fucking Be Sure got his ass shut down. And I was so happy to see bald-headed Al Be Sure get shut down. And I like the fact that Lance's bodyguard was in there. She had a chance to see we're not getting rid of Cross.
Right.
And you see, obviously, she's crooked too. She's on the list to die.
Yeah.
And she knows everything that's been going on. So I can't wait to see her and Luz fight, because that's got to happen. It's got to happen.
We're going to see. We're going to see. We're going to see. Y'all let us know what y'all think. Are either one of those y'all favorite scene in the episode? Tell us why not. Or if we didn't mention it at all, let us know what your favorite scene is, favorite character moment. We are dying to know. We will look, like, and respond to all the comments. Lamont, have you ever been at work, in the bathroom, in the stall, or anywhere in the locker room, getting undressed, carrying to yourself, and a white man, hey, how you doing? You got a moment? I just want to let you know I am a fan Bro, he meant well, but the look that Cross gave him, like, hey, man, what's going on, buddy? This is a little uncomfortable. Could you not have waited till I came out? Okay, there's only one way in and one way out. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, like,
Oh my God.
that was funny though. He was like, I normally don't do this, but no, I'm being silly, but I was feeling cross with a look like, where is this going, man? What do you want? This is not the best time. What was his name? Detective or Agent Huff or Hoff? I think.
Yeah, man.
He didn't make it in the end, but no, he did good work. What did you think about the work that he did and the memo that he gave Cross, the update on the Gabriella complaint that was filed?
That was fantastic police work. to get Luz's mom on the file. But B Avery, I'm laughing because me and you both go work out, and I don't go in the locker room as much as I used to. But there was times I'd be in the locker room often, and we know that these little old ass white men be butterball naked, penis almost on your leg, trying to have a damn conversation. You're like, bruh, look, man. And you don't want to disrespect these guys.
Right.
You don't want to disrespect them because they old and they just trying to have a conversation. But bruh, you get your penis off my thigh, man.
Yeah.
And so I know what Cross went through. I know you work out. You know what that's like. And only difference was this guy admires Cross like Cross is a superhero for him. And he went in the paint because he admires Cross and he looks up to him. But I think that he was trying to be discreet because the locker room sometimes is an area where you can get people to themselves. And you notice how they had that one guy in the background that was just looking, and homeboy made sure he waited till that guy left. When I'm thinking to myself, he could just be around the corner listening to every damn thing. You can't trust nobody on these shows.
True.
But I feel why he did it the way he did it, but he should have just, stayed maybe 2 feet away and gave him the information.
Walk right up on him. I thank you for the heads up and compliment, I guess, on the working out. But I can't claim working out right now, guys. I did horrible. I've been doing horrible since December. So to be honest with you, I can't claim it. But hey, I'm getting back on it now, and let's see what we look like in a few months from now. But yeah, shout out to Detective or Agent Hoff or Goff or whatever his name was. You got me laughing over here. I forgot what I was going to be talking about next. Well, I guess we can talk about that. But is it over for Cross and Elle? Elle and Cross, is it done? She gives him the kiss on the cheek. Hey, what are you saying, Elle? What are you saying? Which was kind of weird to me because he's the one that gave her the boot the last time. Like, hey, I don't think you should be coming around here no more. And she was feeling some type of way. So it's kind of like, they or he forgot that conversation because he was seeming surprised, But this needs to happen. I don't want it to happen. Of course, I want them to be together. They are a beautiful couple. I mean, she is 30 million light years better than the choice of Kayla. But is this it, Lamont, or are they going to rekindle this flame by the end of the season?
No, they're rekindling. There is so much tension. There's so many more things that need to be said between those two. They need another good pound town session and a talk session and probably some therapy on top of that because they're both hurt. You could see on her face, the actress playing Elle, you're doing a fantastic job. Not just the way you look, but the way you act, the way you show your expressions on your face, the way you are into that role. I bought it. She loves this man. And right now she's so fearful that do I pick loving him or do I pick loving myself? Because by loving him, I put myself in danger. Can I trust him to not put me back in danger? And her heart is saying, yes, trust him. But her mind and her body is telling her no.
Correct.
And Cross is using Kayla as a vent for Elle.
Yeah, he is. Now, ladies, let me ask you, if you was in Elle's position, you had Mr. Hawkman, Swole, Green Lantern voice himself, like, baby, come on, I love you. Would you forgive him? Because she broke up with him because in season 1, she Cross used her as bait to catch Ramsey. But let me also add this, Lamont. He's still lying to her. He is not being honest. She asked about his accident. He was like, oh, it's just an accident. It's just no, you were just attacked, sir. You almost got murdered. And she's like, is it just an accident? And he just looked like, and she was like, it's none of your business. It actually is her business. If you're asking her to be your woman, but she needs to know these type of things, what you're going into the work, in my opinion. You look like you disagree. But he's still lying to her, bro. Like, what's up with the lies?
I mean, haven't they officially said that they're not going to be dating, that they're done with each other? He don't really owe her nothing but kindness and courtesy for taking care of those kids. They have broken off.
It don't matter, bro. You know, you still don't lie to somebody though. But keep going.
Did he lie? Did he lie or did he?
He wasn't honest about the. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't a
It
fender
was an
bender.
accident.
Come
It
on.
wasn't no fender bender, but it was a car accident. It was a car accident.
So
Was it not a car? Was it not a car accident?
Mr. Technicality over here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Now,
if your partner or ex partner or if you would be okay with that answer yourself if somebody gave it to you, knowing it wasn't the entire truth, it was some omission in there.
if the dynamics of my relationship was the way it is with Cross and L, yes, I'd be fine with it.
Okay. Do you go piss on your mother's grave when you find out that she was a judge that defended pedophiles? Not pedophiles, excuse me. That's the people going on in life right now. Child traffickers. And you find out that all the riches that you have was blood traffic money. Do you go piss on your mama's grave? I'm serious. That's a horrible revelation right there, bro. Mm-hmm. What do you do? You know, Hoff gave Cross the information. He goes to the office. Yeah, man, she pulled a freaking picture off the wall. All these, I'm finna say defendants. Who is this woman that you're holding up in the phone? Gosh, yeah. Don't be, you're acting scary, son, Senator. But it took you 6 hours to call the cops. Were you guilty? Yes, I was guilty. But no, do you piss on your mama's grave or how do you react to something like that? How do you recover? You go drink, you go smoke, you go do drugs, you go to McDonald's. What do you do?
I mean, and none of that stuff is going to help you. It's going to help you mentally. It sure the hell ain't going to help you physically. The only thing you can do in a situation like that is you cannot let the sins of your mother become your sins. Just like we always talk about how white America does not need to allow the sins of the forefathers to be their sins. You making amends for what she did. You set up some kind of board, some kind of foundation, and some of that blood money and all the power you have, Senator Ashford and Simpson.
Yeah.
You try to protect kids going forward with laws, with foundation money. Let us not forget that Cross still has his new adopted child. Maybe you give some money to that adopted child for what he's going through. You try to rectify the situation. You give us 40 acres and a mule, which you should have been done gave us, so that you can make an amends for what your forefathers and foremothers did.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta give us the money. Y'all let us know. Would y'all would y'all go I don't know what you would do, man. I would cry. I know that.
I would cry, for sure.
I would feel awful. I would feel some people don't feel awful for the things that they do. Kayla feels awful. Bobby Trey, we find out that he kind of feels awful for some of the stuff that he's done. But her name starts with the M. I said Mackenzie earlier. I don't think that's the name. I know it's not Margaret. That's the lady that blew her face off again. I'm sorry, I didn't write her name down. But
her name is Bye Felicia.
There we go right there. She's a monster. I don't know if that was her house or some type of facility gymnasium, but it looks serious. She's looking in the mirror and Kayla's like, hey, how you doing? She tries to escape, but they got her locked up and they're doing some torturing in there, man. Wasn't no waterboarding, but she got a handcuff, got an IV on her arm, got music playing, and the footage of the guys killing themselves, which is awful. I like the reference of the painting on the wall. She was like, hey, you don't know how many soldiers in the past thought this was part of the experiment, but it was just part of the room. Of course, she mentioned Pavlov, and if you went to freshman or sophomore psychology in high school, you learned that story with the dog. Yeah, she spilled the beans, man, when she was about to get that serum in her arm. Should Kayla have choked her out? Like what would you have done? Should she have tortured her some more, slapped her around? I'm always into taking a dump in somebody's mouth. That will always get an answer, but they never put that in TV and movies. I wonder why. But what was your thought about this little torture scene right here in the containers, and the lack of toughness that I was disappointed. I wanted Kayla to whoop ass, but she didn't. But how you feeling?
It's not Kayla's nature. Kayla's not like a killer of. She's not a killer like that unless it's on the job. She's just not a killer. I knew she wasn't going to be able to choke the girl out. I knew she wasn't going to be able to slap her around. I knew she wasn't going to be able to at least hold the chair backwards and just threaten to drop her on her head. You can do anything. Like come
That's
on,
ridiculous.
man.
That's ridiculous.
But let's give her credit. She did threaten to put that serum in her, which I don't believe that was. I believe that was sugar water, and it felt cold. And when her arms start feeling cold, she started talking. And let us not take for granted the little things. Kayla ain't no damn nurse. How does she know she even got the thing in the vein? You didn't sterilize the situation. Felicia got more problems going on than the sugar water because you don't know how Kayla didn't clean no surfaces, no nothing. That's a big deal in the medical field, folks. Yeah. And so Kayla did everything I expected her to do. Her name is Kayla for a reason, and she behaved like a Michaela.
No, man. I mean, I feel you. I'm not a killer either, but if I come across rapist, child molesting, demon worshiper, somebody in the files doing all this, I'm not gonna hesitate at all to let them have it. But maybe that's.
But she still needed the information. You don't want to make no mistake and kill her before you get the information.
Yeah, but hit her kneecaps with a hammer or something. She slapped her once and just wrapped her hands around her neck. You're gonna bleed a little bit, I mean,
look, and then Felicia was talking cash junk to her. You're not a killer. Yeah. You can't do this.
Come on, man. That's not
But
right at all.
Be Avery. That lets you know that Kayla really didn't have a whole lot to do with that situation because it's not her nature.
I was just about to ask you too, is she completely innocent in your book?
Kayla? No, not completely. Not completely, because she could have been following.
Should she be prosecuted in any way? Should she face punishment?
Yeah, she's got to face
probation. Okay.
Yeah, she's got to face punishment because she tried to cover it up. And Al B. Sure need to face some punishment too. His old blockheaded, I don't trust him. I don't trust him. Yeah. I don't trust him.
They're making him very unlikely. They're making it very easy to not like him. But I still think he has some cards up his sleeve that may, reveal itself later on. What did you think about Cross going to, I don't want to call him a tarot card reader. That seems ignorant, but he had the cards and he was talking about the story in the land of flowers. And I think it was named Shiata or Shioto. I'm sorry. I even tried to look it up. I couldn't spell it. But X-I-O. But that is where, what is her name? Not Elise. Louise got the story. And she is marking them up with the defendants. I do like that in this episode and the whole season as far as the sense of culture coming from this community. It is very, very important to them. They take it very seriously. You can tell that this spans back generations. Even though I may not understand it, I respect it, and I appreciate it. Even in the comment section, the last episode recap we did, or the one before, where it looked like she was going through some type of baptism at the beginning, and she was naked with the water and flowers and then the egg. Somebody made a comment that was letting me know what it was. I was like, okay, thank you. So I appreciate that. But what did you think about this story and the revelation that she's following, this story to take out her victims?
Man, and great writing, because that was a lot to follow, a lot to put together. She's got it tatted on her back. And it's nothing calling that professor. He's reading tarot cards. That's exactly what he's doing. He's a tarot card reader, a professor at that. And it's just that he happens to, specialize in Spanish culture, whatever the culture, Colombia, whatever. He specializes in that. And you know, a lot of people have their legends and their myths that get passed down from centuries, and Ruz is one of them. She's got it tatted on her back. And each person in this chain of how she lost her mother and in this chain of how they hurt kids, they have a purpose, they represent a card, and I love how they got it set up. And I love that Cross, his intelligence led him to Jelani just a little too late.
Yeah, just a little too late. Let me ask you this. Is there any way that these characters, these defendants, could redeem themselves?
You know what?
And before you answer, because there's some sins to where you can't. Murder, no. Rape, no. Molestation, no, not at all. These children were just trafficked as far as working. So they were just minor children working. And I'm not trying to say that's okay, but it wasn't murder, it wasn't sex or grooming. It was just minors working. Is there anything that you can do to redeem yourself and if you're a bad guy?
Nah, these are kids, and just the very fact that you're trafficking them, the conditions that they have to live in, the conditions that you treated them in, some of them probably would rather be raped than left alone to go back to their own devices it's slavery. It is modern day slavery. And some people would rather get something done quick to them and go on about their business rather than be trafficked. And then you're taking away somebody's ability to have what is supposed to be one of the most carefree, joyous moments in their lives, where they don't got to worry about adult shit, children. In the eyes of God, they can be redeemed, but in the eyes of man who is flawed, no, we don't have to redeem their ass. No, we don't got to. No, 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 no. That's the problem with white America. Crimes like that should be punishable almost by death, because they know who's doing it and who's been doing it historically. They don't punish them the way they punish minorities for stupid stuff like a dime bag of weed. Your life is over. White collar crime like this, that's heinous, that slap you on the wrist, give you 2-3 years, let you pay restitution because you can afford it, and then you back out here. No, people like this need to be taught a lesson. They need to be neutered, and the punishment need to be harsh and stiff so that people know good and damn well not to do it anymore. The way it used to be for racial crimes, until we've rolled that back, and now people think they can just walk around in any neighborhood and call you a nigga.
Yeah. I was thinking like, how some, I don't know about this happening to women, maybe some handful, I got to look it up. But, men can be falsely convicted, spend 5, 10, 20, 30 years in prison for something they didn't do. And you can't get time back, but there's been cases where, okay, they, overturn it, exonerated, record expunged, but they give them 10, 20, $30 million or something like that. That's cool, but damn, 30 years of your life is gone. So I don't know. Some people try to make it right that way. I don't know. Hey, you find out nobody died. You find all the families, they're reunited, and you house and feed them and give them health care for the rest of their life or something. That still may not be enough, but yeah, I was just curious. Things that pop in my mind, But we coming up to the end, where Jelani is at the wedding. He's feeling guilty. He's feeling sad. He knows that the big bad wolf is coming, but it's really not a big bad wolf. It's a big justified wolf. And they thought they had it locked down on like Fort Knox, like Lance Duran said. He gives this speech about unity and how these people wasn't supposed to be together and their cultures and uniting the diaspora, and that was kind of interesting right there, man. But damn, I feel sorry for the bride, man. She got her husband's throat slit on pretty much the most important day of her life. Huff, agent or detective Goff, got hit in the head with a bullet. I mean, damn, Donnie, You couldn't have shot him in the shoulder. But why you taking him out like that? What did he do? He was innocent. Shit, shoot. I'm upset about that. Yeah, but they had it covered. Bro, mind you, she had enough kahunas and time to cut his fingers off on the floor. Man, that's crazy, bro. That's dedication in a bad sense. How you feeling about this execution, man? And she was able to, what Cat Williams say, punch somebody in the club, or was that Jamie Foxx joke? I can't remember. Never mind. Hopefully, maybe somebody get that in the comments. But anyway, your thoughts. Who was that? Was that Cat Williams or Jamie Foxx? I can't remember. They said, F everybody in the club.
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx, I believe.
My bad. Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
Oh, man. Ruz is a master of disguise like Mystique. B. Avery, I knew from when that scene first popped on, they had dancers. I already said to myself, Ruz is one of these dancers. Like, I was trying to find her. She's a dancer. I knew it. And then when they did the scene where the dancers were between the wife, I said, he's dead. Yeah. He's gone. I didn't appreciate Lance and that damn speech he gave, which is what a lot of Anglos who pillory, destroy, and do crooked deeds get their ill-gotten gains. They want to start talking all that kind of talk the way Lance was doing, as if they understand what we're going through, as if they can help us go through what we're going through. And that shit it bugs me to no end. They do that type of stuff when what we really need is for you to help the nation that is us. Some of them riches you got, we need to be in our pockets. Some of that exploiting and pillory you've done needs to be in our pockets. But they won't sacrifice that. They give us symbolic stuff. And that speech was nothing more than symbolism to make his own conscience feel good. Now, having said that, he saw Ruz. He looked her right in the face. And I just wish she would have just threw something at him, gave him a little love tap like, buddy, you the main course.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get you. No, I think the person that's next is the bodyguard, and I can't wait because that bodyguard ain't going to go down without a fight. I can't wait to see that. And in terms of Donnie, he went out there kind of wounded because Bobby Trey got him, which, I'm laughing because Bobby Trey was getting that ass beat, but Bobby Trey did scar him up. So, Donnie was just doing Donnie. Ruz got away. What is going to happen next episode? I can't wait.
I can't wait either. Those are your final thoughts. You have any predictions or anything like that?
Man, I'm enjoying this show. I wish that more people were watching it because this is great TV, and I don't know what's going to happen next week. I'm just being honest.
Right on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's going to wrap it up for our Cross Season 2. Episode 6 recap called Gather. We will be here same time, same place for episode 7. Thank you. We do appreciate it. If you're watching this on my channel, please subscribe to Lamont's channel. This is what it looked like right here, and there's a link to that in the description of this video. If you are watching this on his channel, please subscribe to my channel. This is what it looks like right here. And we're also covering Paradise Season 2 as well, so make sure you check out those videos. We would really, really appreciate it. But guys, we want to thank you so much again for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that I am B. Avery. That is Lamont, and that is just our opinion. Peace out, and we will see you next time.